Game development is not an easy journey. There are occasional ups, but it often feels that there are much more downs. And because of this, it can feel like you aren't gaining any type of success as a game dev. And maybe if you could just snap out of whatever's going on, then you could achieve what you've been wanting to for so long. If this mindset sounds accurate to your situation, then this video may be the wake-up call you've been searching for. Because today, I'm going to discuss 5 keys that will help you become more successful, whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned veteran. So, without any more waiting, my name is Heuzy, and these are 5 keys to game dev success. It is nearly impossible that you won't experience some amount of failure during your game dev career, whether it be big or small. So, with that said, what really separates an experienced dev from an inexperienced dev isn't which one fails more, but rather how they deal with failure. A good dev will learn from it and realize that every time they fail, they get a little bit better. But a bad dev will back down whenever they fail or think they might fail, which prevents them from learning or improving. So, don't be afraid of failure, and when you ultimately do have failures, make sure to learn from them and not back down. Make sure that early into the development of any project, you have some sort of motivation, and not just any motivation, internal motivation. But what is internal motivation? Well, internal motivation is the motivation that comes from within yourself. For example, wanting to finish your project not just because of the money or fame it could bring, but because you truly have a joy for creation and want to make something that you are proud of. This is the most important because external motivation can come and go, but internal motivation is reliable and constant, meaning it will have a much smaller chance of being broken, and thus will have a much smaller chance of halting progress on your game. As humans, we have a desire to work on things we are good at, but as game developers, this is something we should try and avoid for multiple reasons. The first is that if you are really good at one thing, but bad at multiple other things, then that will be clear in your game and will ultimately drag the experience down for your players. Another reason you should avoid doing this is because in most contexts, the thing that you aren't so great at is something that you don't enjoy. And if you're only working on the enjoyable parts of your project first, then you will leave all the difficult and unenjoyable parts for the end, which will make finishing your game so much more difficult. So, when working on game dev, make sure to develop skills across the board. Whether we like it or not, game dev takes a while, so it is very much in your favor to be patient with the process. Your game won't look as good as you would like it to off the bat, and it will take some time to get it into a state that you are happy with. If you grow impatient, then you can find yourself wanting to give up very often. But if you work to be more patient, you will have a much easier time dealing with those urges to give up. The importance of having fun in game dev can't be understated. If you aren't finding some amount of enjoyment through it, then it may be a good idea to take a step back and find out why that is. Game dev isn't for everyone, and since for most of us it is a hobby, you've got to make sure that there is something about it you enjoy, because if you don't, then you'll likely have trouble. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'm a small YouTuber trying to find his place on the platform, so feel free to stick around and join me on my journey. And if you have any tips of your own, feel free to leave them in the comments. I read all of them and will definitely reply. So, with that said, my name is Heuzy, and best of luck with your game dev journey.